This is called Tenebre Rosso Sangue, and I play it for literally everybody. The organ in here, it's just stupid. It gets better.
Love a pipe organ, man. That's great.
The organ is like stroke of genius for that, giving me old school Castlevania vibes, actually.
Play that at the gym, man. I mean,
Yeah, I tell you what, yeah, right. When that would come on instantly, you might throw the weights right through the roof.
what I like about that is it reminds me of like Buxtehude or like a Bach toccata or something.
No, but that's it. As soon as the organ starts playing, then suddenly we get this sort of like, heaven and hell sort of like combat.
That's awesome, man. My hair's not long enough to like whip it around anymore. It's mosh, but like that was great.
You never know who's gonna vibe with that song. I love that you vibed with it. It's just the most unsuspecting people vibe to that.
Right?
Oh, heck yeah, man.
Not knowing really what this game is about, usually when you use that organ element, it's something either like really religious or let's say somewhat catastrophic or that sort of thing, because it has just that sort of horror sound, but it's also associated so much with sacred music.
Incorporating an organ into metal, like it's obviously something that's done. It's such a interesting concept when you think about it, of taking the sacred, metal is something that was born out of non-sacred music. It was something that was born very much as the antithesis of sacred music.
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
In this game, you play as a robot that goes into hell. This plays when you kill like Sisyphus, and like there's all these like different Gabriels in here. Gabriel's pissed, you know what I mean? It's like you have to fight and kill Gabriel, and like it's crazy.
Metal bands were putting orchestras in their music before anyone else was. I mean, it was like the creepy and organs and all that stuff.
Double bass drum action. I don't think I've ever heard organ in like that kind of metal music, but it works.
That's what I'm saying. It's absolutely insane.
I don't know, like I love the juxtaposition of like that like incredibly crazy drum hard underpinning with all of that like organ filigree, and the fact that it's like pipe organ instead of like something else like also makes it like super strong. It's like an archaic way of saying it's gonna hurt way more. You're just like, oh, I am in real trouble now, because like not only
right. Having heard especially that first clip and understanding just like the breadth of the music being composed for this sort of thing, like there's definitely a parallel to like classical music world or overlap or whatever you want to call it. Like it's all sort of like an extension of the same thing.
Like really, really like intricate and complicated organ music, like Rockstar Bach.
That is just exactly the perfect thing for what we need.
You play a robot who descends into hell, and he literally like kills denizens of hell.
I think the fact that I latched on to kind of what the scene would be, even though I know nothing about this, it tells you that, okay, this was well constructed, and it is. I mean, it gets your pulse going.
Oh, heck yeah, man.
Was that what you wanted?
Yes, that was so fun.
That was so good. And then the sequencing at the end, I mean, it's like
insane.
kind of insane.
It was giving like if Phantom of the Opera had an OnlyFans.
I think that Bach would like shit himself. He'd be like, yeah.
I mean, they didn't have a lot of these instruments that we have now to add to what they were trying to portray. So who knows what kind of composers they would be today with all of the different instruments and styles we've had.
Did you bring me on here and that made me realize that I don't like classical music?
I think so, man. I picked out all the classical stuff. You're like, it's okay. Then I play you this, and you're like, yeah.
People adore John Williams and Hans Zimmer so much.
Right.
Because that music can stand on its own. That's a track that would stand by itself.
I have like 3 people I'm gonna send that to, and we're done. I'm
Really?
gonna need all of these links because like I have a couple of friends who are like also like in the music industry and like the opera stuff that I'm gonna be like, do you know this? Because you need to listen to it.